Why Prince William's recent move sparked discussion inside the palace. The palace is built on routine. Every move is expected. Every step is planned. And then Prince William did something no one was ready for. Not because it broke the rules, but because it quietly challenged them. Inside the palace, the move was described as small. Outside, it barely made headlines. But behind closed doors, it started conversations no one wanted to have. Because this was not about protocol. It was about power, legacy, love, and the kind of King William is becoming. For years, Prince William has been seen as predictable, steady, prepared, the heir who learned from every mistake made before him, the son who watched his mother suffer under the weight of royal expectation, the husband who chose stability over spectacle, the future king who promised himself he would do things differently. And yet, this recent move forced the palace to look at him in a new way. The story begins quietly, as most important royal moments do. No balcony appearance, no dramatic announcement, just a decision, a choice that reflected how William now sees his role, his family, and his future. For months, insiders had noticed a shift. Prince William was listening less to tradition and more to instinct, less to inherited wisdom and more to lived experience. And when this particular moment arrived, he did not hesitate. The palace expected one thing. William did another. What made this move so powerful was not what he did, but why he did it. Because at the center of it all was not strategy. It was emotion. Prince William has always carried two identities. The prince shaped by centuries of monarchy. And the boy shaped by loss, by public grief, by watching his parents' marriage unfold under a microscope. Those two identities do not always agree. And for years, the palace relied on the royal side to win. But recently, the balance has shifted. This move, according to insiders, came after a series of private conversations. Not meetings. Conversations. The kind that happen late at night, away from advisors, when titles fall away and only family remains. At the heart of those conversations was Catherine. Kate has always been described as William's anchor. The calm presence, the quiet strength, the one who understands the institution but is not consumed by it. And this time, she did not push him forward. She grounded him. Sources say William asked one question before making his decision. What kind of family do we want to be remembered as? That question changed everything. Because the palace does not think in decades. It thinks in centuries. But William was thinking in generations. He was thinking about George. About Charlotte. About Louis. About what it feels like to grow up royal, but not protected. Seen, but not understood. This move was his way of drawing a line. Not publicly, not defiantly, but firmly. Inside the palace, reactions were mixed. Some senior aides saw it as risky. Not dangerous, but symbolic. Symbols matter in monarchy. Others quietly admired it. They saw a future king who was not afraid to redefine strength. And then there were those who recognized the deeper meaning. This was not a one-off decision. It was part of a pattern. Over the past year, Prince William has been slowly reshaping his role. Less visibility for visibility's sake. More intention behind appearances. Fewer grand gestures. More meaningful ones. This recent move fit perfectly into that philosophy. But why did it spark discussion? Because it touched a sensitive nerve within the palace. Control. The modern monarchy survives on balance. Too rigid, and it breaks. Too flexible, and it loses authority. William's move suggested he believes the balance has shifted too far. He was not rejecting the crown. He was redefining how it sits. For older generations within the palace, this was unsettling. They remembered a time when duty came before everything. Before emotion. Before personal boundaries. William remembers what that cost. He remembers a mother who was adored by the public and isolated by the system. A boy who walked behind a coffin while the world watched. A family that followed tradition, even when it hurt. This move was his quiet refusal to repeat that cycle. And that is why it mattered. Because it was not about one event. It was about a philosophy. Behind closed doors, discussions turned personal. Is William becoming too independent? Is he drifting from institutional thinking? Or is he doing exactly what the monarchy needs to survive? There were comparisons, of course. To his father, to his grandmother, to the choices each made when faced with change. Queen Elizabeth believed in adaptation through patience. Charles believes in adaptation through vision. William seems to believe in adaptation through protection. Protection of family, protection of mental space, protection of emotional health. And that difference is profound. This move also revealed something else. William is no longer waiting. For years, he prepared, observed, learned. Now, he acts, not loudly, not dramatically, but decisively. Catherine's role in this cannot be overstated. She is not a background figure in this story. She is central. Her approach to royal life has always been strategic in the quietest way. She listens. She observes. She chooses her moments. And when she supports a decision, it is because she sees the long game. Together, William and Catherine are shaping a new model. One where public service does not require personal sacrifice to the point of harm. One where children are not raised as symbols first and people second. This move was a signal. Not to the public, to the palace. It said, "This is how we will operate now." The reaction continues to ripple. Not in arguments, in recalibrations, advisors adjusting language, schedules being reconsidered, expectations quietly rewritten, and perhaps most importantly, younger royals are watching. They see a future king who values boundaries, who prioritizes family, who understands that strength can be gentle. That understanding may be William's greatest legacy. Because monarchy is not sustained by crowns or ceremonies. It is sustained by belief. Belief that those who lead understand those who follow. Belief that tradition can evolve without disappearing. Belief that humanity has a place within hierarchy. Prince William's recent move reminded the palace of something it sometimes forgets. The crown rests on a human head. And the man wearing it has learned, through pain and love, what truly matters. The discussions inside the palace have not ended. They have only begun. Because once a future king shows you who he is becoming, there is no going back. And Prince William has made it clear. He is not just preparing to inherit the monarchy. He is preparing to change it.